Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our virtual student takeover. We're just gonna mingle. There's gonna be a poll coming up soon, just as we wait for more students to come in. But yeah, so we can pull that poll up in 20 seconds. And I think it's what's your favorite fall treat? So we can all answer that when that's up. Oh, there we go. Um, I don't know if us panelists can vote. So we can just talk about it while we're mingling. So it says, what is your favorite fall treat? Pumpkin spice latte, pie, hot apple cider, or Halloween candy? Does anyone have one they're particularly fond of that they can think of right off the bat?
I would actually, oh, Josh, sorry. I would actually die for pumpkin pie, like the Costco one. It's like $5 and literally 5 pounds. I will not eat the whole thing by myself, but I also can't eat pumpkin pie very often because it hurts my tummy. So for that reason, I mine's a tie between pumpkin pie, not just any pie. Don't give me apple pie. I won't eat it. But yes, food allergy girlies rise up. We must succeed, and pumpkin spice latte comes through with that with the oat milk, you know what I'm saying? So that's me.
I was gonna say I think pie is a good choice, but Halloween candy is just awesome because there's such a big variety. Like you don't have to just like choose one certain thing. I think my favorite though, I don't know anything. So I go in like in between either like the sour patch watermelon are really good. The watermelon specifically are really good. Also, just like any variant of like the Halloween Reese's are amazing too.
Super great. I think for mine, it would be hot apple cider. A little bit of a hot take. I really don't love pumpkin spice lattes. I would much rather have pumpkin cream cold brew. So yeah, that's my fall treat.
Well, I'm the opposite. I actually do like pumpkin spice latte. And then but it's a tie between that and pie. Like I would like eat apple or pumpkin, like those are the two, but yeah, it's between those two.
I don't think I would really pick any of those, honestly. I'm more of like a pumpkin bread, pumpkin chocolate chip cookie type girl.
Awesome. Um, well, we'll just take a couple more minutes, wait for some more people to pull up. Um, yeah. Okay, the poll has closed. These are the results. Oh, clearly. Oh, just kidding. There's a tie. Pumpkin spice latte and hot apple cider are tied. Awesome. Love. Oh, and the other two are also tied. This is great. Um, yeah, so fun. Um, Yay! So now we can move into intros. So for those of you who are just now joining, welcome to our virtual student takeover. So we'll all introduce ourselves because we have some interns from the admissions office at APU. So my name's Reagan. I am the senior admissions intern here. So I give tours on campus. I work in the welcome center, just different things like that. I'm also a senior here at APU, and my major is liberal studies with an emphasis in English, and then my minor is teaching English as a second language. So lots of schooling in that. But one at a time, we can have our other panelists introduce themselves, their majors, interests, any clubs or anything at APU they're involved in. So Sarah, I'm going to have you go first.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Sarah. I am also a senior here at APU, and in the admissions office, I'm a tour guide, so I give tours just like Reagan. And I'm a Christian ministries major with a biblical studies minor. I'm also an RA on campus in the upperclassmen apartment housing, which is fun. And I'm also pretty involved in the Office of Service and Discipleship in the global aspect of things, leading trips and stuff like that. So that's me. I'm gonna popcorn it to Emma.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm a senior here at APU, and I also work in the admissions office giving tours and stuff. I live on campus here. I'm a psychology major, and I'm also president of the psychology club.
Awesome. We'll jump over to Josh.
All right, awesome. Yeah, my name is Josh. I'm a senior here as well at APU. I'm studying criminal justice, and I'm involved with a few things. So I'm on the board for the Criminal Justice Association. So it's like our club. And then I do intramurals. So if you're interested in like doing intramural sports or how that works or anything like that, I do intramural basketball. And then like any other sports that pop up. So like this Friday, we're doing a football event. We're all doing that too as well. So yeah, if you have any questions about those things, feel free to ask.
Awesome. And now Dylan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi. Hi, I'm Dylan. I'm not a senior. I am actually a freshman. I work in the admissions office as a recruitment event intern, which I help prep these events, these admission events for you guys. I currently live in the dorms right now. I live in Angstrom Hall. So if any questions about Angstrom, let me know. And I'm a social work major. And a couple hobbies include playing guitar, and you'll probably see me around on my scooter a lot. So, you know, if you maybe next year, if you come to APU next year and you see me on a scooter, then you could just say hi.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's all of us. We also have an admissions representative on here. His name is Thomas Chan. He could be your admissions representative if you're within his area. So he's just here kind of to help answer some questions and all of that stuff. But yeah, a brief overview of what this event is. Oh, Thomas, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Thomas Chan. I am the admissions representative here, and I am a full-time staff member, but I was a student here once upon a time, and I'm looking forward to spending a little bit of time with all of you here tonight.
Amazing. Yeah, so a brief overview of what tonight is going to look like is you guys can ask us any questions. There is a like Q&A feature that you have, so just type in any questions that you have within there, and then we will answer those questions and just trying to get you just like what APU is, what to expect, different things like that. So you guys can start popping those questions into the Q&A feature, and we'll get started to answer them. Oh, we also have a video for you all to play. So we will watch that before we go into questions. So during the video, just think of some questions that you guys have. But yeah, we can watch that video now.
I'm convinced that every time a student steps into the classroom, walks from one place to another, I'm reminded that God has already prepared that space in advance and is excited to meet with students.
My favorite part of being a professor is the one-on-one interaction.
I love coaching, and I love the guys that I get to do it with. It's my passion and my mission. I made it a habit that the first day of class, I would learn the name and call them by their first name.
And in every interaction that I have with students, I get to have real conversations about where they're at.
Developing that community. You're a part of the family. You belong here. We want this to be home for you.
I'm not just a faculty here teaching. Every morning, I look at the list of students and I try to pray for each one.
Make that heart and soul connection.
Pulling out all of who you are, your spiritual, your emotional, your capacity to learn. And we're saying you do not need to compartmentalize those things. Be your whole self in this space. God sees me, God is good, and the community here sees me as well.
I get to help students be exceptional at their craft so they can go out into the world and be difference makers.
The courses, they are rigorous, and the reason why they're rigorous is we know that they're going to make a very big impact. The difference is that we want them to be successful. We're giving them the tools.
I will ask them various vocational questions that draw out the elements of deep calling as they aspire to become who God's created them to be.
Helping others understand chemistry can be fun and that God loves them. I really believe that there's a book of nature and a book of scripture, and they have one author, and that is God.
It's those light bulbs that go out, and then they're launched into careers that they didn't think that they would do.
They will recognize how they're spiritual, they're emotional, their talents, how they're all interconnected, meaningful to every industry, not just Christian ministry, but every industry that they may be called into.
When your passion and your gifting becomes your mission,
To do the best job I can and to serve God with the talents He gave me.
that's the game changer. That's a life changer.
Lord, thanks for the opportunity before us. And it's more than just the education.
Let's have a good time. Just may they feel your peace. We love you so much, Lord.
The conversations would take place, dignity would be brought back.
Every day I show up to work remembering that Azusa Pacific University was founded as a training school for Christian workers in 1899, dedicated to cultivating difference makers who make an impact in every sphere of society, both locally and globally, committed to engaging unreached people all over the world.
And so the world is here at APU. We have an opportunity to glorify God in those differences and experience the spirit of Pentecost.
We're positioned in the greater Los Angeles County in beautiful San Gabriel Valley.
Our proximity allows us to hire working professionals. It allows our students to go be inspired, to have internships.
Where our students are going into those spaces, showing the love of Christ and softening hearts and being mindful and prayerful in how they're making decisions on behalf of others.
By offering transformational education, we really help students to be equipped, not just with the knowledge and the information, but have the character to bring hope and light.
And it is knowing who you are and whose you are as a child of God that allows students to be confident as disciples, scholars, leaders, and citizens.
God wants artists,
Athletes,
Nurses,
Scientists,
Pastors,
leaders
that define themselves, not by fame, not by celebrity, but by Him.
and the phrase I use is a long obedience in the same direction.
APU is equipping leaders to go, therefore, and transform the world.
Awesome. So that is just a video that we have just highlighting different majors here at APU and different opportunities that you can participate in if you are a student here at APU. So yeah, going into our question portion, let's see. Okay, so our first question is, what classes did you take to pursue liberal studies? So I can answer that because that's my major. So a lot of classes that you'll be taking is liberal studies is elementary education, but it's elementary education K through 8. So you're doing multiple different subjects within the schools. So it's kind of like you're back in middle school and you're taking different subjects for every single classes. So you take history and math and science and English and a bunch of different things. But then within that, you also do get opportunities to student teach within the classroom. So I've been able to student teach for the past 4 semesters, which has been really awesome because I've been in a 1st grade class all the way to a 5th grade class, kind of just seeing what grade I want to do. And I know those like internships that they also talked about in that video aren't just solely for liberal studies students. They're for lots of other majors that students can participate within those internships. So yeah, amazing question. Awesome. Okay, next question. Let's see. Okay. So let's do, what would you say is APU's campus big, small, medium? What does that look like? All of that different stuff. So Sarah, I'm gonna have you answer that one.
Okay. I think the acceptance rate being high, that's what you're asking me to answer, correct, again? Yeah. I think that, I mean, I like to look at it as like, they just really want you to be in school. Like APU just cares. So they're not going to make you jump through a million hoops and jump and loops to get in, because they believe in you. And I feel really encouraged by that. I was a transfer student, and so sometimes for transfers, it can be a little bit daunting to like look at an acceptance rate that's really low and like not know what's best. So for me, that was actually really encouraging. And I've definitely been challenged after becoming a student to like continue to be a better student. But I looked at the acceptance rate as a really encouraging opportunity for me to become a student at APU. And I would say APU's campus is honestly pretty small, but I really love that. That's actually one of my favorite things about APU. The community college I came from was really big, and like most of my classes had like 50 to 70 students in it. And the average class size at APU is about 15. So I've really gotten to know a lot of my professors and my classmates, because when you're in a group that's small, you have every opportunity to like get to know people. And so you can't walk across APU's campus and not run into people that you know. And that's something I really value and appreciate about our campus.
Awesome. Yeah. So this next question is for Dylan. It says, Dylan, you're a social work major. How is your first year? And what classes do you like? How have your classes been? All of that.
Well, well, as a first year in the social work major, you're basically only taking one social work class. So for me, I'm taking Soc 250, which is a intro to social work. So in that class, they'll introduce you to many of the concepts about social work and basically the general ideas of it. And with my other classes, I take a psych class, which is a requirement within the social work program, and also a sociology class, which is also a requirement for the major. But I am also in honors. So I'm in the honors college. So instead of taking GEs, I take these honor classes where there is usually a lecture, and there's this group discussion class called Colloquy, in which we dive deep into one of our texts, and we dive deep into what these philosophers are saying about the text. And yeah, so in the terms of social work major, it is very it's a lot of introducing you to the profession and what you need to know about it. Like I mentioned, I'm also an honors college student. So if you have any honors questions, please type in the chat and I can answer that for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Dylan. Our next question, how many classes / credits can you take per semester? I can answer this one. So you can take a minimum of 12 units per semester to be a full-time student. So that comes out to 4 classes, and then a maximum of 18 units. I know for like underclassmen, so like freshmen, and I think you're beginning of sophomore year, they kind of discourage you from taking 18 units just because those are 6 classes, and they want you to have just to like build community within college and to be involved in different things. But it definitely is possible. I've been taking 18 units for the past couple of semesters, and it has been possible. So it's something you can do. But you can take up to 12 units, or as minimum of 12 units to be considered a full-time freshman. And then the other question that we have is, what do you think about APU's nursing program, and do you have any advice for it? I am not in the nursing program, but I do know a few things about it. I have a lot of friends in there. So we do have a nursing program here at APU. It is a direct entry nursing program. So you would apply your senior year of high school. So for this year, if you're looking into it, it's going to be due, those applications are going to be due on November 15th. And that would be a separate application on top of the application into APU. But basically what a direct entry program means is you apply to APU's nursing program. And if you get in, you don't have to apply again for that nursing program to get in like later in your time, which is really, really awesome. So you'll come in right as a freshman, knowing that you're going to be a nursing student, and continuing that all your whole 4 years. So that's super awesome. And then also within our nursing program, you do get to participate in clinicals where you go to different hospitals within either the area or the LA area around here. And you get to shadow alongside a nurse and just get to see like different units within the hospital. So very hands-on, all of that. And then our next question, what does an average school day look like? So I'm gonna have Josh and Emma answer that. Josh, if you want to go first.
Yeah, so for me, this semester looks a little bit different than my other semesters just because I'm only taking 4 classes this semester. I'm graduating in the fall, so my workload's a little bit less. But if I were to take 5, basically, I like to this class or this semester, I have class from Monday through Thursday from 2:30 to 5:45. So I have an hour and a half for each class, and that way I only have to take those classes twice a week. So yeah, that's typically what my school day looks like for this semester. We have a few other styles of classes. You could either take hour and a half classes twice a week, or you can take, I believe, 55-minute classes 3 times a week, or 1 3-hour class per week. So there's a few different options. It's kind of whatever you like better and what they offer. But yeah, that right now, that's kind of like what my class schedule looks like this semester.
One of my favorite parts about college is that you get to make your own schedule. And personally, I don't like morning classes, so all my classes are in the afternoon. So on a typical day, I like get up and I go to work, and then in the afternoon I'll have like 1 or 2 classes, and then I just kind of go home, hang out with my friends, do homework. So yeah, it's really nice to get to make your own schedule, depending if you like to get all your classes done in the morning, or you're more of a night owl and you want to have like a 6 to 9 class. You can really make your own schedule, which is really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, college is very flexible with your schedule. So it's really nice that you get to create your own. Our next question that we have is, what type of resources or programs are available for low-income students? So I'm going to have Sarah answer that question.
Yeah, I am considered a low-income student. I am independent from my parents, and so it's definitely an interesting transition of going into college and having to figure out the financial aspect of it, because it is the part that isn't talked about as much when you're in high school about the excitement of it all. We have a lot of really great opportunities. We do accept the FAFSA and the Dream Act is what it's called. So those are both grants. So grants are your best friend, especially when you're a low income, because it's money that you don't have to pay back. So those are great resources that you apply for just with your FAFSA application, which is really important. The sooner you do that, the better. And then also, there are plenty of scholarships that you can look into that you just have to kind of find one that suits you and that you can write a good essay for. There's plenty that are just essay based. There are plenty that are not essay based. outside scholarships are always really helpful. Also, the financial aid services is, I actually work in the financial aid services as well as admissions, and they're really helpful on when you get your FAFSA in, looking at your options. Loans are always an option. And so there's always something there. You just have to kind of work things around, and like sometimes the reality is you have to work hard too, and like I have a few jobs to help pay for school, but it also is like makes me really proud to be getting my degree because I'm working really hard to get it. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be an okay thing. It can be manageable. And it kind of goes in with Riley's question, if I may, Reagan. What would you recommend? So I personally went to a community college first, but that wasn't for any other reason other than like I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I also wasn't a believer before I went to I came to APU. And so I had no reason in my mind to go because I'm a Christian ministries major at APU. So there wasn't necessarily the connection of my education with a Christian education then. So whether you go straight in from high school or to a community college first is kind of your prerogative and like your decision to make. Both are great options. It just depends on you, your situation, how you can make it work, and the support your family has given you or is going to give you also is an aspect of that to consider. But there's not a right or wrong way of doing that. They're both good options and they both get you a degree at the end of it. So whatever you choose is going to be good, and God will be with you in all of it. So
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Again, since you're on the roll, I'm going to have you answer another question. What kind of Bible studies are available on campus, and what does spiritual life on campus look like?
Yeah, so there's a number of like unofficial Bible studies on campus. I actually met Reagan at one of them. So students are really empowered to start those on your own. But we do have these things called D groups through the Office of Service and Discipleship. D groups, it's small for discipleship groups. So they're groups of about 10 students led by students that are trained to lead those groups. They're given curriculum that either goes along with chapel, or your leaders can choose like a book or their own kind of Bible study to go through, and it's all okayed to make sure it's like theologically sound through the Office of Service and Discipleship. But there's a number of Bible studies that you can join so easily. D groups can be specific to group, whether that's all girl, all boy, for athletes, for honor students, for nursing students. There's something for everyone. And spiritual life on campus is one of my favorite things about being a student here. We have chapel, which is a great part of spiritual life, but the spiritual life office in itself has a lot of great opportunities for students to serve each other, serve the community, and serve the Lord, whether that's through D groups, serving each other, whether that's serving in a community garden, or going on a global trip over the summer or spring break. There's a lot of options, and I'd love to connect with you another time if you'd like to talk more about that.
Awesome. Thank you. So our next question I'm going to have Dylan answer is, do students get to live in campus housing all 4 years of college? So yeah, I'll let him answer that.
Yeah, so for freshmen, you start living out in the dorm. So currently I live in Ingstrom Hall. So you can either live in Ingstrom or you can live in Trinity Hall, which is so Ingstrom is co-ed with boys and girls both living here. We have Trinity, which is also a co-ed dorm, and we have Adams Hall, which is a all-female dorm. And for the first year, you live in Ingstrom, and in the second year, you live in the dorms again. And I think third year you do live in the mods, which is an in-campus. And then for your senior year, you start living in University Village, which is another area where the seniors would live at. So yeah, you do live on campus for all 4 years. And yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, like Dylan said, we do have dorming opportunities for our freshmen and our sophomores. So we have 3 different dorm areas. And then we also have these little like modular home type things that some sophomores can live in. But most sophomores do live in the dorms along with the freshmen. And then like Sarah talked about at the very beginning, we do have upperclassmen apartments that are like right across the street from campus. So I know a lot of us live in those. But our next one is going to be, I'm gonna have Emma answer this. Are there any student clubs on campus? So I'll let her answer that one.
We have a lot of different clubs on campus for students to join. Some of those are major specific, like the psychology club that I'm currently the president of, or we have like business or criminal justice, like Josh was mentioning, or there's also clubs based on interest, like our outdoor adventure club. There's a line dancing club now. And if students are interested in making any sort of club, they have the opportunity to start a club if they want. So there's a lot of different options for students to do on campus.
Amazing. Josh, I'm gonna have you answer the next one. So what are earning opportunities on campus jobs, different things? What are some options that we have here on campus?
Yeah, so I believe on campus we have over 1,200 job opportunities for students to apply to. One thing I would say first is I would highly recommend if you are going to be working on if you are going to be working during college, work on campus. It just makes life so much more convenient. But as for the different opportunities, we have like campus life staff, which I'm doing intramural basketball right now, and they get paid to be referees for that. We have different jobs like working in the food industry or working at the libraries. Virtually all of our offices also have all of our offices on campus also have student workers as well. So there are tons of opportunities for students to work on campus. A lot of the times too, like I've had experiences where my professors will have specific job opportunities outside of the classroom or outside of the school that you could help them with, which grants you even more like experience within what career you're interested in, which is really awesome too.
Awesome. So our next one, what does research base mean in our school? Like it said in the video that we had at the beginning, our school is very heavy on research here at APU. So that can be research within a multitude of different majors. A big one is going to be research within our science majors. So we are an R2 school. So that means that the students that go here that are in our different programs and the professors that are teaching those programs are actively doing different research on like a lot of different things just to be up to date of what they're teaching so they're not teaching old things. And along with the professors doing that research, students get to come alongside them and be on research teams. So they get to work one-on-one with the professor or in a very small group. My roommate, she actually is in a research team. She's a biochem major. So for the past 2 summers, she's lived on campus and she's been working in the lab 40 hours a week. And that's just really impressive for like grad schools to see and also just like getting a job in the future, just like looking at doing all of this research and different stuff like that. So that's what we have there. And then our next question is different. Is there tutoring available on campus for all classes? How does that work? Different things like that. So I'm going to have Sarah answer that one.
Yeah, so we have plenty of tutoring opportunities on campus. In the Segerstrom building, there's like STEM specific tutoring opportunities for those classes. And then in Marshburn Library, there's so many opportunities for you to get help and ask questions. There's a writing center that can help you with writing papers, like for your biblical studies requirements. I had no idea what an exegetical paper was, and I'm sure you don't either. And I was so overwhelmed, and I went to the writing center and they told me every detail I needed to know. And now I've written probably like 15 exegetical papers and I know how to do it like the back of my hand. And so they're really helpful. There's also things called learning aids or learning assistants for some general education classes. And so that's like it's not a TA, which is someone who would help the professor grade papers and stuff. It's actually someone that is supposed to partner with the students in the class, and be there to facilitate studying and answer questions for them that are specific to that class. And that's actually really common for classes here to have. So there's a lot of tutoring and assistance when it comes to questions based on your classes and assignments and stuff like that.
Awesome. Our next question, are there any special events for freshmen to get to know other students or make friends since they'd be new to the school? So Dylan, I'll have you answer that one since you're in that season of life right now.
Yes. So when you do come to APU, you will have this whole weekend called Welcome Weekend, where you'll be able to meet school environment, meet the new community, and that's where you get to know a lot more about your major, but also you get to connect with all these different people from different areas around the world coming to APU. So for me, I only knew a couple people from the social work major, but during Welcome Weekend, I was able to learn more people and be able to learn more about the major, while also getting to know more people within the major. And that's how I created close bonds with them, and that's how I made everlasting friends with them. But another way you can connect with the freshmen is through our admissions events. So we have an admission event called Night at the Zoo coming up in November, where you'll be staying overnight on campus in one of the dorms, and you will be able to just experience what college life is like. And there you can meet many new people too. For me, I was a part of the trustee scholarship program, and I was able to meet a lot of my close friends here at school, here at APU, through that event and through that whole weekend of coming here. So definitely go to the admissions events, as they are really helpful, not only to learn more about the school, but also to create new bonds with the people that are also interested in APU. So.
Yes, love to hear it. Yeah, like Dylan said, we have lots of events. And so if you would like to learn more about them, we just put a link into the chat for those events. But yeah, our next question, let's see. Oh, this is going to be for Emma. So for a major-based club like the psychology club, do you need to take the major to join the club, or can you be of any major to join a specific major-based club?
I can't speak for all clubs, but I think for a majority of major-based clubs, you have to either be the major or the minor. That's what you have to be for the psychology club. But we open up our events to all students. So even if you aren't a member of that specific club, most of the times you could still pop by their events or just hang out to get to know those students in those majors.
Awesome. Our next question, Josh, I'll have you answer this, is can you commute to campus? Can you live at home, but also go to school during the day to APU?
Yeah, so we definitely like commuters. We have a lot of commuters. That is totally a thing. You're allowed to live at home and come to campus. Something really cool about that too is if you have a pretty big gap in between your classes, you're able to go just hang out at like our student union, which is for like it's like our commuters area, where a lot of our commuters just kind of hang out in between classes. There's snacks in there, couches, games, just a spot for you to kind of just hang out in between your classes, so you don't have to go home, then drive back, then go home again. Something really convenient for you. So yeah, if you live close and you just don't want to pay for housing, you're totally allowed to live off campus.
Super cool. Our next question, just about different sports teams, different opportunities that you can play sports here on campus. We do have lots of different sports teams on campus. We have 17 NCAA Division II sports teams. So that can be from women's soccer, men's soccer, basketball, volleyball, aqua and tumbling, different things like that. So we have lots of different sports teams. We are a recruitment based school. So you do have to be recruited to come here. But we do have like like questionnaire thing you can fill out if you want to be recruited or be contacted by the coach of that sport. But our sports teams are really, really awesome. We have a student section at them called the zoo, and so that's really fun just because there's like zoo keepers, zoo leaders that just like get the crowd hyped up for those games. So that's really awesome. I've gone to a lot of basketball games and a lot of acro and tumbling games. So if you've never heard of acro and tumbling, because I never heard of it before college, it's basically like cheer and gymnastics combined, and they're just crazy. So we have lots of sports teams that are really fun to go look at. So yeah. Our next question is, do we provide any public transport discounts? So I'm gonna have Sarah, you answer that one.
Yeah, I was a commuter my first year here at APU. And so like Josh said, there's a great spot called the Commuter Lounge, the Cougar Dome. The dome is your home. That's what they say, and they mean it. And in there, they have really great opportunities for you as a commuter to get like a free city bus pass. And so you can use public transportation, such as the bus, freely as a commuter student, but you have to be a commuter. You can't live on campus to get that. We also are just in a great location. So like if you need to use the metro is literally less than a mile away. And so that one's not free, but the bus pass is.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Our next question, Josh, I'm gonna have you answer this one. What is your favorite food place on campus? And then what is your favorite food place off campus?
Oh, nice. I love this question. All right. So my favorite food place on campus is probably got to be the Grill on West Campus. I just love their burgers. And then they have these new waffle fries that are amazing too. So that's a great spot. That's on campus. And then off campus, the place that I go to the most is definitely Chipotle. I had it today about 2 hours ago. I probably like 3-4 times a week. I'm not even lying. It's pretty bad. But yeah, Chipotle. Haynes is right here as well. In-N-Out's a classic. Chick-fil-A, you know, a great one too. So there's just a ton of food opportunities right off of campus right here as well. But if you want to just grab something quick and you're already on campus, the Grill is a great spot.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Our next question, I'll have Emma answer both of these. What are like fun, different student life events that are on campus? And then also, what are some things that you can do on the weekend while going to APU? So I'll have Emma answer that.
So on campus, our campus life does a great job of putting on a bunch of different events for students. Some of my personal favorite that they've done were goat yoga, and they also did axe throwing. And those are just free activities you can sign up for students. And they're like classic one they do is around Christmas time, and they brought in like real snow for students to sled. And they also had a horse-drawn carriage like going around the campuses that you can ride for free, which is really cool. And then around campus, Azusa's in a great area. Like there's so much to do. Like locally, there's cute little like downtown in Covina and Glendora. If you like to go shopping or just grab a bite to eat. And then around, we're not far from Disneyland, so you can just go to like downtown Disney for the day if you want to. The beach, if you want to go to LA, Pasadena, like there's a ton of places that you can go. And a lot of students like to hike around campus too, because we're in like the foothills, so there's a ton of hiking trails.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, like just want to affirm all of that. There's lots of things to do on campus and also off campus. So lots of fun things to do around here. Our next thing, Sarah, I'm gonna have you talk a little bit about chapel, just about the requirements, what chapel looks like, when they're held, what times, all of that different stuff.
Yeah, so there is a requirement for you to attend chapel. You have to go to 3 gatherings a week. There are 4 opportunities a week, and so it kind of balances out. Those are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10:30 to 11:20, and then on Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. roughly. It goes over every time, but in the best way. And The great thing about the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday opportunities is that there are no classes scheduled during those chapel times. So you can't have a class from 10:30 to 11:20 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because they don't exist. And that really helps you kind of build your schedule well and like not have to worry about the overlap of them. And you do have 10 absences you can use freely for those, which is helpful because sometimes you wake up and you're tired and you don't want to go, and that's okay. There's no questions asked about it. And then chapels are pretty well planned out. They do a good job at making sure that our speakers are relevant and engaging for us as students, whether it's our campus pastors speaking or pastors from local churches or authors or just public speakers, or even student-led chapels are some of my favorite ones. And so chapel's a great thing. I really love it. And our chapel bands are amazing. They're mostly student-led, which is fun to watch your friends lead. And so I'm grateful that we have the requirement.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Our next, Dylan, I'm gonna have you talk about dorm life, what that looks like, all the different stuff, different things with RAs and stuff like that.
Of course. So in the dorms, you do live with a roommate. So in Ingstrom, you have a Jack and Jill kind of room. But for the other two dorms, which is Trinity and Adams, you do shared bathrooms. But however, dorm life is really cool because in the dorms you have these common areas where you see a lot of these people, and you get to meet a lot of new people within these dorm events you have. So for example, there was like a dorm event where a lot of the RAs at the dorms kind of hosted these games, and they had these fun activities for us living in the dorms, and it was pretty fun, and it was able to just be able to bond with other students in the dorms. And also your RAs are also there to help you as well, get adjusted into dorm life as well. I was able to grow close with not only my RA, but also the other RAs as well. But in the dorm life, you see a lot of these people you meet within these events and throughout your time at APU. So just, being able to be close with one another and be able to hang out in the dorm and just chill after school maybe, and just be able to like enjoy each other's companies like every night or whatever, like whenever you want. It's always nice to be able to chill and maybe go out for dinner. So
Super sweet. So our next question is different community service hours that we have here at APU. So at APU, one of our cornerstones that we have is service. And so within that, we do require our students to complete 120 service credits throughout their whole 4 years here at APU. And so it seems like a lot at the beginning, but it really breaks down to 15 service credits per semester. So you can complete those service credits in a lot of different ways. You can complete them by doing things locally. So if you go to a church around here and you volunteer in like the kids ministry or anything like that, you can submit that to count for service credits. We have a community garden that you can work into to complete some service credits. Anything that is voluntary, you're not getting paid, and it benefits the community outside of APU. That counts for service credits. And also we do have opportunities for serving globally and serving around America. And so those are something that's really, really popular here at APU. So we do have service teams that go out during Thanksgiving break, spring break, and summer break. So during Thanksgiving and spring break, those are a little bit shorter, and those tend to stay within the United States. And then some teams do go down to Ensenada, Mexico. So you get to partner with different organizations and different ministries to go and travel and minister with those trips there. We have some trips, like I said, that go down to Ensenada, Mexico. There's some teams down there that go for nursing or to build houses or to put on like a kids Bible study. There are some trips that go to Utah or like New York, West Virginia, different things like that. And then all of our summer trips, they go abroad. So all of them are outside of the United States. I personally went to Honduras through one of our service engagement teams. I went there 2 summers ago, and I was there for the whole entire month of May. And I got to work in an after-school economic orphanage. So that was really, really special. Just like such a sweet time going with other girls from APU who I didn't really know beforehand, and now some of them are my best friends. So I know there are teams this summer that are going to the Netherlands, Uganda, Ireland, South Korea, Poland, different things like that. So lots of different opportunities for you to do. So yeah, that's what we have. Our next thing, Josh, I'm going to have you answer this, is there a gym for students to use at APU?
Yeah, so we do have a student gym. It's going to be over on our West campus, and it's a little bit different. If you're an athlete, so there are certain times where the gym is reserved for like athletes and like kinesiology and allied health students that are using it for labs. But every single day, there's times where students can, where other students can utilize the gym, which are definitely usually times where you wouldn't really have class. So you'll always be able to utilize it. The gym's really cool. It has virtually everything that you would need at any other regular gym. So yeah, there's a lot of options to work out here at APU.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh. Let's see. Our next question is, if APU is a research-based suppose that means professors would expect that I've already mastered some skills the first time I stepped into a classroom. No, professors understand that coming into college, you might not really know what your major is. Maybe you have just signed up for that major because you're interested in it or anything like that. So professors really will work alongside you to really help you with just like mastering the subject. We do have smaller class sizes. So we have an average 15 class size, which a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio. So that's really, really great. I know in our science classes, it is a little bit less to an 11-to-1 student faculty ratio, just because those are a little bit more rigorous classes. So they want to make sure that you're getting all the help that you need. And so they really, really help with that. So being on a research team, you usually will go into one your summer going into your sophomore year or going into your sophomore year. So you have enough experience and enough time to really get that research under wraps. But yeah, our last question. One more question. If you're not sure about your major you're taking, is there an option to be able to change it? So Emma, I'm gonna have you answer that one.
Yeah, for the most part, you can change your major. If you want to switch to like nursing, you can't do that because you have to be enrolled starting your freshman year and like apply to get into that program. But most other majors you can switch to. I changed my major 3 times. I started as a nursing major and now I'm psychology. So as long as you're like working with your like counselors, they can help guide you towards the major change. Like after switching mine 3 times, I'm still graduating on time, so they really work with you to like make your schedules. You could also double major if you want. Some majors are really like double major friendly, like they don't have that many credits, so you can do 2 majors at once, or you can also do a minor if you want. There's a lot of different options, so you could get like multiple interests.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So our last question to wrap up the night is, what is the best advice you could give an upcoming student? So I'm going to have everyone answer this question. Sarah, I'll have you go first.
Yeah. I would just encourage every incoming college student, no matter where you're coming from, if you're going to be a transfer student or a freshman next year at APU or any college, I would just encourage you. Sorry. I would just encourage you to laugh a lot and have fun and really soak in all the memories that you're gonna make. Yeah, soak up all the memories. Dylan, you're so funny. You're just laughing so much. Yeah, soak it all in. Make good memories.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. Emma.
Some advice that I would give to freshmen are just to use all the resources that we offer on campus. I didn't know about a lot of the resources that we offer, like our career center, tutoring in the library, our writing center, and some of them I'm just learning about now. So I would say to learn about the resources that we have and use them while you can, because they're all free, like the student health center, counseling, anything like that. Just learn about everything that we offer at the school and use it while you can.
One thing that I would recommend to like any incoming freshmen or transfer students is just don't be afraid to get involved. My freshman year, I was kind of hesitant about like joining clubs or meeting new people, and then COVID hit, and when we got back, it was kind of like I got to relive my freshman year again because I didn't really know anyone. And I told myself I was gonna join clubs, do intramural sports, just try to get out there, and that made like college so much fun. The people that you surround yourself with and the people around you are definitely going to make your experience awesome. So yeah, I would just recommend kind of getting out there and like living outside of that box that you might be used to.
Yeah, so advice as a freshman, definitely get yourself immersed within the community. For me, I think that just like the community is so special here, like everywhere I go, I just at least see one person I know, one or two people I know, and it's like, wow, it feels so special. And for me, I just love meeting new people. I just love just getting to know everyone around me, and I've just grown to know a lot of people, not only my classes but also with the events that have been the student events and just all like just running into people and just saying hi. It's just wonderful. So definitely get yourself immersed within the community, and you'll have a great time here at APU.
Awesome. And then lastly, my advice that I would give, especially just within the season I'm in right now, being my last year here, just really invest in the time that you have here. Just with like friends that you're making here, people within your major, different things like that, and also just the professors that you have. Something that's been one of my favorite things about APU is just the relationships that I've been able to make with my professors. Just being able to have like a mentorship with them, them caring about me academically, like as a student that I'm doing well, but also caring about my personal life, and just making sure that I'm okay, because I know that I'm not just a student who has a lot of homework, but also I have my own personal life. So yeah. That is all of our questions that we have today. So thank you so much for attending. You guys can look on campus events that we have, and with our APU email, different things on our APU campus and different stuff like that, and then sign up for an in-person campus tour. One of us would love to have you on a tour with us. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night.